'Cause I'm gonna take you back, right? Back in 2015 when I started rapping, right? The main thing I wanted to get out of rapping was for people to see how good the production was, and maybe sell beats through producing. Because I'd spent two years producing music before putting it out, because I wanted to perfect producing music. Over that time, I grew my ear for samples. I learned how to like pick a sample, what's good, what's catchy, and my goal with putting music out, rapping, was that people would hear the production. So I bring people in with the comedy, the ha ha ha, okay, the polos, the tatos, or even back in the dude with swag days, the edgy stuff. It would pull people in. The end goal was always to get people to have a more serious look at the production I was doing, But that wouldn't work in today's era because, as I've said, you can go viral with one video, but then you have to keep making viral videos. And for someone who's an artist, not everything you do is going to be viral. Some of the things are going to be a bit deeper. It's going to be like, oh, this is a song I wrote about this, and that's not funny. So people won't even see it. The algorithms won't even push it. So I feel like what's going to happen with the music industry is you're going to have, this middle tier of artists. Because here's the thing, there's three categories of artists. You have your top tier. They're the ones promoted by the industry. They're the ones that get, and they're the ones that are very talented. Often the ones on the top tier are very talented, but they get all the promotion, all the support. You have your middle tier, which is what I was in, where they're underground, but they still have a career due to the internet and due to loyal fans. And then you have your bottom tier where oftentimes they just don't get it. Like there's certain artists, right? They have all the music talent in the world, but they've no personality. They've no work ethic to get themselves out there. And surprisingly, it don't matter how talented you are musically. If you don't have connections, you then need to have work ethic and you have to have marketing skills, or no one will ever hear your music. And you can be odd at Crack Boy Mental because this funny shit is going viral and your thing is going nowhere. But at the end of the day, that's your fault. You need to work harder at promoting yourself. But as I was saying, you have the top tier, the middle tier, you have the lower tier of artists who it doesn't matter what way the algorithms are, it doesn't matter how they were funded, they'd never have had the work ethic to ever be successful anyway. So you can just forget about the bottom tier. But the middle tier, you can start forgetting about them too as well, because it's becoming too hard to sustain a career on the internet as a musician in this viral, everything has to be viral era. And that's just how I feel. I know if you're one of those people and you make music for the joy of it, firstly, fair play. But you have to recognize that you're not owed success. Like, I don't like this idea that a lot of artists have, that we're owed, success. We're owed a living off our music. That's how you end up with a lot of average people still making music in their mid 30s, feeling like they're still owed a career. Like you're not. Like, there's other jobs. There's people waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning going to do 12-hour jobs. Like, you are in a privileged position as an artist. So if you feel like having to promote yourself is such a big deal, then get a 9 to 5, because clearly you're not made for this. Even when I look at Irish hip hop, right? It seems like the funny stuff is always the stuff that gets to the top. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, but if you look at the top artists that sell out arenas, it's your Versatiles and your Kneecaps. Now, what Kneecap did was they do the comedy rap. Now, some people might like me calling him a comedy rapper. I put him in the comedy rap category, but they also put the activism with it. So they're kind of they're doing both. They've figured out a smart way to be funny so people don't take you too serious, but also have the serious political thing so people can feel like they're supporting a proper cause and they're not just promoting some funny. Because that's Versatile. Versatile might have even made better music than Kneecap, but Versatile didn't have the deep message that kind of draws the hipsters and college students to Kneecap's music. So that's why they're big. And they have, the North of Ireland, the situation and history of Northern Ireland. We don't have that in the south of Ireland. We don't have that struggle of, independence. I had some jobs worth commenting a few years ago, oh, Crack Boy, you're a free stater. And I had to look that up because I'd never heard that phrase. So I Googled it. And apparently it means you're a Irish Catholic that doesn't care that Britain has 6 of your counties. And like that couldn't be further from the truth. Like I always said, I like my Ireland how I like my World Cup. 32 teams, 32 counties. You know, it's perfect. It's 8 groups of 4. Like I want a 32 county Ireland. You know, like so. Yeah, I support free the north, and you know maybe even we can get like the Isle of Man as well. Like we can get the Isle of Man off Britain, and maybe because I want to keep it at 32 counties. Maybe we trade like Leitrim, some irrelevant county like Leitrim, or one of the little Dublin counties like Laois or Kilkenny. Well, like trade one of those. Actually, get rid of Kilkenny because Kilkenny are our biggest competitors in hurling. So get rid of Kilkenny and get the 6 counties back for Ireland, and everyone will be happy. So don't ever call me a Free Stater again. I'm an Irish Catholic. I went to Irish school for 14 years. Okay, so get off me. So yeah, that's just a tangent that I've probably gone off on there. But yeah, going back to the art, as I said, comedy. Good way to draw people into your music. But for the music purists, here's something you'll be glad to hear. Funny don't make money. Like a good catchy song, good high quality music is going to have a much longer shelf life than a joke, than a funny song. So while getting your name out there, I would suggest comedy. I would suggest memes. But for the long term value, if what you're searching for as a musician is like, a long-term career where people respect your art and don't just laugh at you, probably stay away from the meme and the funny stuff. But again, it goes back to my point of the internet and having to be viral all the time. I just don't know how you're going to sustain a career as a serious artist in today's age, unless you have the connections and you're Bono's niece or Bono's nephew. So yeah, guys, but you can do the funny stuff. And what I find is that there are certain people, they're haters. All they want is serious music. And even when they get serious music, they're still not happy. But then you'll find other people that like the comedy stuff and they'll like the serious music. And those are people that I call proper fans. Not just people that only like one part of you and hate the other part. Which is fair enough as well, because if I sat down to watch a comedy movie and all of a sudden they came out with some sappy, dreary, deep storyline about World War One, I'd be pissed as well. So I do understand if you come to me for comedy and I'm giving you more serious stuff, why it would piss you off. But what you have to understand is the comedy is how I sell myself as an independent underground artist / influencer. So even with this podcast, I gotta do the few viral, fucking funny, outlandish things, or else, who's going to come across the podcast? That's just how I have to market it. But anyway, if you do enjoy this podcast, I have a Patreon that I keep forgetting to promote called Craic Rambles, and you can get the full visuals to these podcasts on Patreon. You can get the full 20-minute video of these podcasts on Patreon for just €2, €5, whatever you want to spend is appreciated. So if you do like this podcast and want me to keep going, please go ahead and support that. But